Going to call the Lake Elmo City Council meeting for Wednesday, August 6, 2025 at 7 p.m. to order. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our first item is to do the approval of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion unless somebody has something they'd like to move.
I'd move for approval of the agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All right, agenda is hereby approved. Going into presentations, I got a couple of people that want to speak this evening. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address for the record. And you'll have 6 minutes. Other than that, just make sure your decorum is handled properly in the council chambers. I'll call on Tony Zeiton and Denise Elliott.
Hi, I'm Denise Elliott. I live on 9077 Jane Road North.
And I'm Tony Zeiton, and I live at 9109 Jane Road North.
Can you show our pictures of the PowerPoint, or can you see them? There we go. So we came here to talk about the shoreline in Lake Jane. The water levels are at an all-time high. We've talked to the DNR, and they can't release any water until spring. And Olson and Jamonteville run into our lake, so we're the last feeding pond of the water, and it's just ridiculously high, and our shores are getting worse. Our grandkids can't play on the beach because they get toppled with waves, and on my property, they can't even walk down to get to the beach because it's been just shoved back so much by the water. So we've got an extreme amount of damage. We have a lot of people that have been moving onto Lake Jane Road lately, with people passing, of course, it's changing hands. And these people are coming in with bigger boats every time someone moves in, and nobody sits down and talks to them about wake lines and things like that. And so we're trying to keep our property, and I'm like 10 feet from the shore right now, so I'm starting to get nervous. So the issue is just that the shore is just getting destroyed by all these big white boats. I think we counted 85 plus between boats, pontoons, and jet skis. We had 85
No, there's more than 85. It's 85 with the pontoons and the speedboats.
Then we have jet skis, and we have a parking lot that people can pull their boats in, and we have some residents that have up to 5 water vehicles on Lake Jane. So our question is, what we would like to know is, because they're coming within 50 feet of our shore, could we get buoys to put in the lake of where the wake line is? Because I think it's 200 or 300 feet out. It depends on where you read and what you read. And I think just giving them that sense of like, okay, this is the no wake zone, could really solve a lot of problems. Is there any grants available from any of the DNR, the county, the city, to help repair our shoreline? Because there's a lot of people that are involved in this on the north and northeast side. I think so. I don't know my right from my left, more or less that. So if we need to get so anyways, we talked to the DNR. The DNR said call the sheriff. When you call the sheriff, nobody shows up. They don't come out there for it. So it's not real helpful, and I'm sure they have more important things to do. The DNR puts young kids on our dock once in a while, and the kids are not going to push back on anybody coming in with these boats or anything going on in the lake. They just are checking for the
Milfoil.
and the snails or something. We've really rehearsed this, can you tell?
The zebra mussels.
So our lake is 152 acres. It's 152 acres. It's 2.38 square miles. It's less than a mile long, and it's less than a third of a mile wide. And we have 90 boats on that lake. So I've talked to people that do the lobbyist stuff, and I've talked to them and said, isn't there a capacity, I'm probably catching our time, is there a capacity on the number of boats that can go into a lake? Because when they built the public launch for us, they only put six spots in there because our lake was so small that you shouldn't have that many boats in there. So we know that they have the water ski thing coming up, and we're not saying that they shouldn't have that, but we are saying that we need to get some control or get something around there, even if it's just buoys or at this point, we're asking you to have a no wake zone completely, because we're at the top of our limits right now, water-wise, and they're not releasing anything until, spring. I think that was it. Oh, here's just some references, and I can give them to you if you need them, of things we've read to go into this. And then, so we talked to the water district about this stuff, because everybody told us to go to the water district, and the district said to go to the DNR, the DNR said to go to the sheriff, and now we're here to you. So that's kind of what we wanted to talk about. I'm not trying to stop people from buying boats, but I think there's something, common sense being lost in this whole situation. And at the end of the day, who's responsible when our shorelines, because we're like 10 feet off now, so in no time at all, our whole deck's gonna be in the lake at the rate we're going. So, I know you can't answer and you can't respond if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I forget where this goes. I don't know where this- Thank you very much. I don't know where to plug this back in for you, so I'll just leave it here. Oh, we got it.
Oh, I think somebody's gonna.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. And then we have Joe Lundgren.
Hi, my name is Jill Lundgren, and I live at 8282 Hidden Bay Court North, Lake Elmo. I want to talk about a few things today. The first is the farmer's market. I started the farmer's market about 11 years ago, and I am no longer going to be running the farmer's market. Hopefully, we have a new manager. Her name is Trista, and she's going to be running the farmer's market. Unfortunately, it is very difficult to run a farmer's market without volunteers. I started it in a small parking lot with maybe 6 vendors. We have now over 30 vendors. Some are part-time, some are full-time. We always have a food truck there. We have music there, and it could not have happened without this community. Our average walk-through traffic we count is 400 to 500. This farmer's market is run on volunteers, and we get up on Saturdays. We are there at 7 o'clock in the morning. We put signs out the day before. We put banners out. We are marking the parking lot spaces so the vendors, when they come in, they know where to go. We block off the area so nobody's driving their cars through the Lake Elmo school. We buy insurance through the Minnesota Farmers Market Association. We pay for the parking lot through the Stillwater School District. And we have become a 501(c). This couldn't have been done. I had surgery at the time if it was not for the volunteers that actively pursued this. Through the time, we have handed out simple book bags. This last time, we have handed out coffee cups to the vendors and to the folks coming through. We have donated over $6,000 to the Washington County Canine Unit because they were in need of 2 vests for the police dogs. We have put together a cookbook that was written by all the hand notes, handwritten recipes from the vendors and then from some of the folks walking through the market. This week at National Night Out, we have handed out bags with our logo on. Susan's got a bag for everybody here. But this market and other things cannot be done unless we have a core of volunteers. I mean, that's the core of every community is volunteers. Susan has been with me for 11 years. I could not have done it without her and her husband. I mean, they are there with me at 7 in the morning. We are marking numbers. We are putting out signs. You have a faithful volunteer here that has been through everything for 11 years, 12 weeks, every Saturday, nonstop, rain or shine. We've been inspected. We've opened through COVID. I mean, this market is part of this community, and it's going to be really sad if it ends. We are down to 3 board members, and that's it. we need volunteers. So I'm asking for the community to start stepping up and just help this market. You know, come in and share. You don't need a full-time person. You can share it. You can have someone come in. But we need community to help step up and to save the farmers market. The other thing I'm asking is that this council bring back the environmental committee. We had it at one time. It was a good committee. And there are volunteers out there that would like to see this happen. The other thing is I'd like this council to reevaluate the Lake Olson, de Montreville, and Lake Jane. I mean, 12 years ago, these lakes all had a high water mark. They had hours of operation. It went to the council. It got voted down, but Lake Elmo retained their hours of operation. They retained their high water mark because one council member wanted it and the others all voted for it. And that was during the times of troubles, I'll say. So I would like this put in a workshop and this reviewed. We now have what's called travelers. They are the microorganisms that come from the zebra mussels. We have them in Olson and de Montreville. We asked the DNR if they could treat the lake that feeds into our lake, and the DNR won't. So within 5 years, Lake Olson and de Montreville will have zebra mussels. It will be on our boats, it'll be on our docks, it'll be on the lake where the children step, and it will cut their feet. These little zebra mussels are sharp, very invasive. The travelers, they're called travelers, those microorganisms are already in our lakes. We need to do something. The lakes are high. The boats are big. It is a well-proven fact that they are doing nothing but stirring up the lake and pushing it onto the shore. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will say one thing, I don't think tennis needs to come in at 6 a.m. and wake people up. That's just my opinion.
Thank you, Ms. Lundgren. All right. So we have approval of the minutes from the July 15th, 2025 regular and special meetings, along with the July 8th, 2025 workshop. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve the approval of minutes for July 15th, 2025.
Support.
So just moving forward, you guys are my only hope on getting motions and seconds, just so you know. There aren't two others here, so, you know, just recognize that. I appreciate it. All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for the July 15th regular and special meetings, along with the July 8th, 2025 workshop. Please signify by, if for approval, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are hereby approved. Okay. Consent agenda is approved payment and disbursements and payroll. Approved special event permit, Inwood Neighborhood Social Event. Approved special event permit for Ride to End ALZ. Approved change order number 2 for the Hudson Boulevard Improvement Segment A. Approved pay request number 4 for the Hudson Boulevard Improvement Segment A. Authorized engineering services for the North Water Treatment Plant Site Study. Authorized engineering services and geotechnical investigation for the South Water Treatment Plant and wells. Approved release of warranty security for Union Park First and Second. Approved pay request number 1 for the Village Parkway UP Railroad crossing improvements. Accept quotes and award contract for the demolition of Water Tower number 1. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, consent agenda is approved. Now we'll go into the regular agenda. Item number 12 is trash haulers' hours of operation, ordinance 2025-13 and resolution 2025-056. You'll remember this from a workshop we had, I think, a month or two ago.
Okay, so we had a workshop on this, and it was a request from tennis to move the hours of operation from 7 to 6 a.m. So this is the background. We did a review, and we reviewed solid waste for 12 nearby cities. Of the cities reviewed, 4 have a start time of 6 a.m. and 6 have a start time of 7 a.m. We also had cities that didn't specify. We can go through kind of the cities right here. So you can see St. Paul, and actually Minneapolis too, is a 6 a.m. start time. But we reached out to Woodbury, and their change happened in 2009. They don't receive very many complaints unless it's before 6 a.m. They said at the time it wasn't a contentious process to change their hours of operation. Cottage Grove, same thing, but in 2016. And we basically heard the same thing from all the communities. And then Maplewood, also as a 6 a.m. from 2011. There wasn't much of a process, it wasn't contentious, and they don't receive complaints unless it's before 6 a.m. So you can see some of the other cities have the 7 a.m. start time, but this is the research that we did, this is what we found. And then the proposed language would just be a strike through the 7 a.m. and to 6 a.m. And then if some, if you want to approve it, it would be a move to adopt ordinance 2025-13, and you have the adoption of the summary of publication resolution. Any questions?
No, thank you for that. Any questions for Mr. Stopa?
No questions here.
No questions. It seems like, oh, not a question.
Yeah. All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to adopt ordinance 2025-13, amending city code as presented by city staff.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion, second discussion.
My only observation is most of the cities are at 7 o'clock. There's only, what, 2 or 3 that are at 6.
Yeah, and we don't know if that was based on a request from the haulers or anything like that, do
It
we?
was.
It was, okay.
One of them actually was operating at 6 and realized their code said 7 and then changed it to 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess for my part, I don't have a problem with it. I could see people getting there before 6 would be a problem. At least where, from what I recognize, I don't have, it's not like hitting up a diesel vehicle and clanking around a dump truck bucket or something like that. You know, they come in, grab it with the arm, dumps it in, and they move on.
They're gone.
If it, I would assume, and maybe that's the wrong assumption, is that if we can accommodate a little hourly change for the trash haulers, I mean, it benefits them in getting their trucks in on time and whatnot, but it would also, then they can better serve the people that they have contracts with, I guess. Yes.
I don't find them to be particularly noisy. I mean, they're in our neighborhood right after 7, and it's not a huge amount of noise, and certainly no more noise when they're plowing the street at 4 in the morning.
Sure.
You know, especially if Marty's driving, it's real noisy. But,
Sure.
But I don't see it as any more noise than that. I
Right.
appreciate there'll be some folks who are very noise sensitive, but I think by and large, it's not an operation that should cause, a huge uproar.
Yeah, unless I'm missing something, I don't seem to have a problem with it, so. I'll call the question. All those in favor of adopting ordinance 2025-13, amending city code as presented by city staff, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's adopted. I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
we can't do the second one because you need
Oh,
4
need
people.
4.
Yep.
All right, we'll have to put that on the next, the publication on the next one. Can you put the publication in the consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 13 is approved city-sponsored 100-year anniversary celebration. Ms. Miller.
Mayor and council, this item was put on for the council to discuss, based on the request, at our last meeting to have staff look into, the fireworks display. So, we have this item just in general for you to discuss, the scope of the celebration, if it's gonna be beyond the fireworks display. So we don't have anything else prepared for it.
I thought we would have to, just the cost for the fireworks. Well, we're gonna need more cost based on, having a band or things of that nature. Do we need to take care of that now?
Yeah, this would be for the item for anything above and beyond the fireworks. The fireworks is a separate item after this. So,
Okay.
perhaps, you would discuss and then create a motion, to authorize staff, or authorize spending, a certain amount not to exceed for X, Y, and Z, whatever you decide the scope to be.
Okay.
Mayor,
Yes.
since I was the one who initiated this discussion a couple weeks ago, and I was very happy that my fellow elected officials were enthusiastic as I was about it, I would make a motion that we authorize staff to spend up to $50,000 exclusive of fireworks for the celebration. I think that would be enough to cover, I don't anticipate we may not spend it all, but that would be sufficient to cover some of the items we had talked about.
I'm good with that. I think we'll fall well in line with that, based on some of the numbers I'm saying, so. Is that, you wanna make a motion?
I made that as a motion.
Okay, you would.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Motion is for city council to approve staff to not exceed the costs in the addition, to the amount of $50,000 for the 100-year anniversary celebration. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, good to go. Then we get the approved city-sponsored firework display.
Yeah, so, from the last meeting, staff has done some research, and we did provide, in the packet, a quote for a fireworks, display, and then also we have, learned of an alternative, so a drone show, and so I just wanted to pass that information along for your consideration. We have had our fire chief working with, the fireworks and the drone show, vendors to make sure all the safety precautions are taken place. And Dustin can answer any questions that you might have about what's required for fire code as well. In the packet is the preferred locations or different spots that the firework vendor as well as Chief Kalis have looked at. And I would say the first one in the packet is the preferred site for both, from the fire chief and the fireworks vendor.
Me also, so you're not proposing the drone show?
Well, I was leaving that up to the council. We just proposed, or we're just giving you an alternative to look at. It is something that's fairly new, and I have contacted the city of Cottage Grove, recently added this to their Strawberry Fest, and the feedback was nothing but good stuff. It's was well received, and they plan on continuing to add this into their yearly celebration. They do fireworks plus a drone show, so we just wanted to show you some alternatives as well.
Mayor, I'd make a motion to authorize staff to spend up to $15,000 for a fireworks display. I know we're 8 to 12, but I don't want it to come $12,075 and have, an issue. I believe it would be part of a very festive celebration to have a fireworks display for a 100-year celebration, and I think our community would appreciate it. So I'd make that motion.
And what about location or type of, do you want to get into that, or do we want to leave that up to staff? I think we've got a recommendation of
Yeah, I
putting
would,
the multi-shot in A, is that what I saw?
yeah. It's, yeah. Recommendation of the fire chief for the location and type of fireworks. I mean, I think we have to be safe about this too, so I would amend my motion to, or ask that my motion be allowed to include that.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion on the floor. Is there a
Second.
second? Okay. And the motion is to authorize staff to spend in the total amount of $15,000 for fireworks show
On preferred site A.
on preferred site A as presented by staff.
And the type of fireworks as recommended by the chief. There's a certain level of height or something, as I recall.
Yeah, fire code dictates the show or what's being launched in the air. Spectator distance and clearance distance has to be, it all depends on the shell type and size.
Right.
So the bigger the fireworks, big aerial show, much more distance, frankly, way more distance than we currently have right now. But I think as you look at event planning and keeping things in the downtown corridor and in Lions Park, the Site A is probably our best bet. It gives us a true, kind of an existing perimeter, utilizing the ball field. If there are some wind conditions that adjust as the day goes on or as the evening goes on for this event, it's still an area that we can increase the distance that's needed up to a certain point. If we look at the VFW ball field, a little bit larger show, in height, but then it also takes, from what I'm assuming is the Laverne Avenue planning of the event, now we have to get spectators kind of somewhere else to kind of get a little closer to that or kind of maneuver them around. If we can keep everything right in Lions Park, I think that's our best bet.
All right, sounds good. So, all those in favor of the motion as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. So, move into council reports. You have anything to report, Councilmember Dragisich?
Only to thank the staff for the extra work they did on this 100-year celebration thing. It involved a lot more people than I guess I envisioned it would, and rightfully so. But from this city councilor, I appreciate the efforts that you did in putting this together on very short notice. And I'd also thank the mayor for his leadership in helping to organize this as well. I know he spent a lot of extra time in our discussions last evening about the different events and all that. So that's my only report, is to thank everybody who will help make this very successful.
Yeah, ditto on that. I'd like to thank the group that put together the National Night Out last night. And again, another great turnout. A lot of new vendors, people there. I see a lot of smiling kids, not so many crying kids. It's great to have the K-9 unit come and do a little display. Thanks to the fire department and public works department and city staff for being there to ask questions and kids run around and check out the big stuff that I know they think that's cool. Well, I probably still think that's cool too, so. Appreciate the sheriff's office being there as well. Again, it's just nice to see people in the community coming together and walking there in a safe environment. Getting to see some of the offerings that some businesses have in and around the community. It was a little interesting that some of the businesses weren't even included, like the owners would live in Lake Elmo, but their business was somewhere closer, but they thought it was important enough for them to be there. I thought that was good. So that's from my report. You have anything, Councilmember Cragness?
Yeah, I was looking into the food trucks for the 100-year anniversary, and we have 13 interested food trucks so far.
Okay.
I've contacted all of them, and I've heard back from a handful on food and beverage minimums as well. I think what I've seen from the few that have reached back out, they're gonna waive that amount due to the 100-year anniversary, which is pretty cool. But that's all I have so far.
Sounds good. Staff reports, anything, Administrator Miller?
Oh, I just want to echo what you guys said, thanking the staff for attending Lake Elmo Night Out. There's a lot of staff there, and it was nice to see that as well. One additional question that we wanted to bring up was an alternative date for the fireworks show if weather was to be an issue in September. Fire Chief Kalis had a good idea of perhaps an alternative date is during the light up of the tree in December.
Oh,
Just in case,
Yeah.
just have a backup plan.
Knowing other cities with firework, legacy fireworks displays and the potential issue that causes if weather wants to throw a wrench into our plans,
so it's not just a hat rack.
right?
Nice.
Try to think of another date to keep, again, to keep it, administrator would know in the contract language if we just have to cancel it, do we set up another date right now with the vendor, or do we just kind of wait and see approach? But at least in the Plan A aspect, we kind of already have that in the back of our
I
minds.
I
It's a
like
little-
it.
I like that.
That's
Yeah.
great. Good idea.
And again, similar area, we've already got closures in place. The kind of the planning and the work on our end's already kind of there for that event too, so.
Nice. Ms. Johnson,
No report, thank you.
Mr. Stolpa.
Today, I was at the Minnesota Shopping Center Association on a panel talking about Lake Elmo and economic development opportunities. And I was giving them an update on the 180 acres, so hopefully they're interested and follow up. So
Yeah.
pitch
And
the site, so,
All that land along 94.
and all that too, yeah.
Yeah.
Mayor, I'd like to, I did receive a message from a commercial developer that I know personally, and commenting what a great job Jason did in presenting that, and she wants to know where we got him from, and I said, he came to Lake Elmo because it's such a wonderful place to work. But she was very complimentary of the presentation that he made, and, said he did a great job for the city. She had no reason to do that. I mean,
Right. It's nice to get that unsolicited feedback, for sure. But
all I have.
she's not gonna refund the $20 you gave her, obviously. Director Powers.
For the first time, maybe Lake Elmo is going to be submitting water for the taste test at the state fair. So anybody goes to the state fair, make sure you pick the right glass of water.
Interesting. Okay. Chief,
No report for me.
No report for me.
Stanley, no? Sarah?
No report.
All right. With that, nice short meeting this evening. Thank you for everybody's time. We'll adjourn this meeting at 7:32.